This is a brand new Dyson hairdryer. This is a hairdryer from the 1970s. And this is a hairdryer that is 100 years old. I'm gonna plug these in and see if they even work. Hey! That works pretty good. Okay, but is this thing gonna turn on? This is 100 years old. Tell me that is not terrifying looking. Oh, it's warm. Oh, I don't like that. Oh my gosh, it's working. That's the only speed setting though? This would take days to dry my hair with. Oh my gosh. It's safe to say hair dryers have improved a little bit over the decades. We have 10 more products that I bought the vintage version of and the new version of to compare. Starting with our face, specifically foundation. And I have the CoverGirl Ageless Perfection Foundation. And there's a reason that I picked CoverGirl specifically. When you search CoverGirl on like TikTok and stuff, this is the one that comes up. I can't tell if it's because people like it or if CoverGirl's just boosting this one, but this is what we're going with. It's basically this clear oil with the little foundation beads just floating around in it. It was $20, which I feel like is kind of expensive for CoverGirl. I'm gonna be kind of shocked if this works. What the heck? Wait, okay, once you start blending it in, it's actually kind of nice. It's such an interesting formula, but somehow it's working. And then along with our now foundation routine, I feel like concealer, setting powder, and contour all kind of fits into this segment, and none of these steps were really a thing until fairly recently. Welcome to the 1970s. Let's do our foundation. Specifically, CoverGirl, and this one is the Oil Control Liquid Makeup. We paid $15 for this little guy that is authentically straight out of the 1970s, but back in the day, this only cost $2.79, I believe. I think that's what the sticker on here says. I'm reading through the explanation of this foundation, and it's funny because they are all about the no shine, oil-free, which is so opposite of today because we're all about the glow now. Oh my gosh, it looks scary. Why does it look like that? Oh no. Small amounts on fingertips and smooth over face. So safe to say beauty blenders and makeup brushes were not a thing in the 70s then. I'm shaking it, but the color's not really mixing together very well, so. It smells like perfume. Oh no, I feel like that's so bad. Am I gonna get like chemical burns on my face for putting this on? I'm actually nervous because this isn't just foundation. Foundation back in the day was actually medicated with Noxzema, which is actually the brand that started CoverGirl. They've since parted ways, but during this time, all of the CoverGirl products had the Noxzema in it. I'm actually really scared. I feel like I am not gonna be easy breezy beautiful if I have chemical burns all over my face, which I actually did see some people commenting on Reddit that it's always smelled really strong, so maybe that's okay. Oh my gosh, this is the worst idea I've ever had. Okay, it's a perfect skin tone match though. Let's go. Okay, I would say it still works. It's definitely on the lighter coverage side though. Send thoughts and prayers to my skin, please. All right, 1920s foundation. The little foundation tins were so pretty back in the day. They were usually metal with like a cute little intricate design on them. And back in the day, a little tin like this would cost you 50 cents. As far as liquid foundation goes though, they really would just use cold cream, which they still make, by the way. What even is cold cream? Future Hope, tell me what cold cream is. I mean, this feels nice and moisturizing, but it's not doing much for my complexion, so. One thing about foundation in the 1920s is the paler, the better. They thought that it's because if you put a color on your face that's a couple shades lighter than your natural color, it would make you look more youthful, which honestly, in these pictures, these women are glowing, so they might be onto something. We're gonna do a little photo shoot later though to see if our super pale look actually does look better, especially in black and white like these photos were taken. I mean, it's kind of the same concept as what we do today with concealer, but instead of highlighting just certain parts of our faces, they put it all over their entire face. Next up is blush, and I have the Viral Milk Makeup Jelly Blush. This stuff is so interesting. It's a jelly tint that's meant to be used as like blush, eyeshadow, lips, whatever you want really. And I've actually been really liking this stuff. $24 for this little thing. And tints and creams and gel type of blushes I feel like have become very popular these days, more so than powders. We're taking it back to the 1970s to one of the most popular makeup brands, and fun fact, the second largest MLM in the entire world, Avon.
I sell Avon, and I can do great things for your look.
Some of you might remember this. My mom actually sold Avon back in the day, but it was like the thing. Avon, you never look so good. The makeup, I think, was really nice, and they were known for their super cute packaging, and that is where today's blush is from. Wow, cute. Comes with this cute little brush. Wow, this is very different than the blush brushes that we use today. We paid $100 to get this authentic Avon blush on eBay, but back in the day, this was only a couple dollars. Wow, okay, pigment. I feel like in the 70s you were meant to apply your blush like right on the apples of your cheeks. Oh, my skin is never gonna recover from this. 1920s blush. We have a couple options for this and they're both so cute. Kind of like the foundation, they would always come in these cute little metal tins. When used, you can obtain a refill for this rouge box for 25 cents. Imagine I try to take this to Sephora and ask for a refill for 25 cents. These days, our blushes are very like peachy, kind of like a natural blush tone, but they were red back in the day. Okay, and then we have this option as well. What is happening? Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't tell if something happened to this one or if it was meant to be like a cream blush. Oh, it says cream rouge. Okay, I'm still terrified of it, I'm not gonna lie. The 1920s was when makeup actually became like socially acceptable. Before this time, makeup was really only used by people that were in theater. It wasn't mainstream at all. But due to Hollywood and flapper culture, a lot more just everyday women started using it. I'm terrified to put this actual one on. A, because this is like a historical artifact. B, a lot of like lead and arsenic and literal poison was used to make makeup back in the day, so I don't know if we want to mess with that. So I'm just gonna use my own little red tint to kind of create a 20s inspired look. Mascara is up next, and I'm using the Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High, and there is a reason that I picked Maybelline. This little guy was $10, and this one in particular is in the color True Brown. So this is a trend that I've been seeing all over the internet, and it's brown mascara instead of like a dark black. We're gonna see how it looks. Although I just realized this trend might be intended for brown eyes, so I don't know how this is gonna look on me. Honestly, it's looking pretty good. I feel like it doesn't look that different than black. The popular brow look right now is definitely fluffy and penciled in. I think I like it. Welcome back to the 1970s. Tell me this isn't the cutest little mascara packaging you've ever seen. This is from the 1970s. It is Maybelline. And I was just thinking, wow, this is so tiny compared to new mascara. And then I realized it's because we accidentally bought a refill for the Maybelline Magic Mascara. So I don't know how that works. So we paid $37 for this. But in the 1970s, it would have cost you 69 cents, like it says on the packaging here. I wish makeup cost that now. It's like hundreds of dollars to get a full face of makeup these days. Lasts for months, waterproof. Also, I love this line that Maybelline had on all of their stuff, devoted exclusively to eye beauty. Not anymore. It's also called the Automatic Magic Mascara. I don't know what that means. It makes it sound like the spoolie's supposed to like spin or something. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, it doesn't come with anything. I bet we have a spoolie though, assuming it's not completely dried up. All right, here we go. Is it still alive in there? Absolutely not. It came out completely dry. Okay, we do have a backup mascara though. And our backup, of course, is Avon brand. This one might not work either. Maybe mascara is just not meant to last 50 years. Oh my gosh, this one's tiny too. So maybe mascaras really were just this big back then. Moment of truth. It's pretty dried up, but it's also brown. I didn't realize that when we bought it. Okay, so is brown mascara just like a trend that's coming back? Let's see if it does anything. Yeah, definitely not. It was worth a try. And then for brows in the 1970s, they were actually very natural and trimmed. It wasn't really a thing to put a ton of product on them or draw them on, so we're just gonna leave my brows as is. If anything, I could pluck them a little thinner, but I don't really wanna do that. The mascara brand of the 1920s was actually Maybelline, and tell me this isn't the cutest thing you've ever seen. It's so little. So we paid $80 for this tiny mascara. Back in the day, it would cost you 25 cents. And what's so cool about this is back then, it wasn't like the tube and spoolie like we use today. It was actually in a little cake form, and it would come with this little toothbrush looking thing. You'd brush the color onto the brush and then onto your eyes. Obviously the cake is solid, so they would actually either lick it or spit in it to get it like the right consistency. And then they'd put it on their eyes, which doesn't seem the most hygienic, but that's what they would do. This is basically made out of soap and black coloring. We've come a long way. Obviously, this isn't like the first mascara ever. Mascara has been around since ancient times, but at least in America, this was the style of the first commercialized mascara. Welcome to Science Experiments with HopeScope. Today we're gonna be testing mascara from the 1920s. However, I'm not putting this on my eyeballs because I kind of learned my lesson during the filming of this video about putting expired makeup on my face. I felt like my lips were getting chemical burned. So I have a little bit of help. This little girly. We have these white lash extensions and I thought they'd be perfect to test how well this mascara actually works. Unlike our girlies in the 1920s, I'm not going to be spitting in this to get it to liquefy. I'm gonna be dipping the brush in actual water. I'm so excited to try this. Yeah, there appears to be some questionable stuff growing in this case, so really glad I made the decision to not put it on my eye. Oh. Nothing happens. Hang on. Let me get our cake a little bit more muddy. It's been 100 years. It just needs some time to warm up. Oh, yeah, nothing's happening. Okay, it's okay. We'll keep trying. Okay, it just went all over my face. What's gonna happen? I mean, it's going on, but it literally looks like dirty water. If it's not showing up on white eyelashes, it's probably just not gonna show up anywhere. Huh, well, maybe it worked better back in the day. Thanks anyway, girly. Next up, we're going to do our 2024 eyeshadow look. Something that I feel like has been really trendy on the internet is like a very pink, glowy eyeshadow look, so that's what we're going to be doing for today. 1970s eyeshadow. I'm really excited about this because I feel like in the 1970s, eyeshadow look had so much personality. The colors were velvety blues, greens, purples, very like earthy tones, and then lots of white and silver to frost right under the eyebrow and on like the middle of the eyelid. So that's kind of the look that we're going for. Here's our inspo picture here, and then we are of course going to be using a little Avon eyeshadow palette. Is this instructions? Okay, we've got a little 1970s tutorial. Okay, what in the world am I supposed to do with a brush this tiny? What the heck? I think this is meant to maybe line your eyes. It's so little. All right, here we go with the blue. Okay, give us nothing. Oh no, is it too dried up? Yeah, I think our pigment didn't last very well over 50 years. I still want to recreate a 1970s eyeshadow look. I'm just gonna do it with a more modern palette. There we go. They swooped the color like way out too. It's 1970s vibes for sure. 1920s eyeshadow was very unique because like I said, it was very much inspired by theater and then pictures were in black and white. So they wanted it to be quite dramatic so that it would show up in photos. Here are some popular eyeshadow looks from back in the day. And I think I'm gonna try to recreate this one. I don't know how to describe it other than just like sad eyes. The way that the mascara like bends is very unique to this time period. Okay, I feel like I low-key kind of nailed the shape. And then they would do like a little shimmer in the middle of the eye here. And then we're just gonna smudge some dark along the lower lash line. All right, there's our 1920s eyeshadow look. Another thing that was very popular in the 1920s was to accentuate beauty marks. So I'm gonna do that. I want this to be a thing again. I think beauty marks are so cute. Got a couple there and then one up here. Just add some personality to your face, you know? Lipstick today. There is so much variety, like an overwhelming amount of lip product when you walk into the stores now, and that didn't used to be the case, but I feel like some of the biggest trends in lipstick right now are the tints that you put on your lips. There's all kinds of different ones. One that I see on TikTok all the time is the peel off one. So my plan is to use one of our little TikTok peel offs for kind of like a lip liner, and then we're gonna fill it in with our tint. You can get these super cheap. I think I got these TikTok ones for $10 for 6 colors. You're supposed to apply these, leave them on for 5 to 15 minutes. And then when you peel it off, it leaves a beautiful color underneath. That's actually so satisfying. You want me to hand this to you? Yeah, gross. Gonna add a little bit of our milk, and then we're gonna top it off with probably the most trendy lip product right now, which is actually balm. I'm using my Summer Fridays Butter Balm, and that completes today's makeup look. When it came to lipsticks in the 1970s, Maybelline really dominated. Now when you walk into the makeup store, there are so many options, but I feel like I just kept seeing the same like 3 or 4 popping up when I was doing research. Avon is of course one of them. Look how cool this packaging is. I feel like this is a really good example of some some of the fun packaging that they used to do with the little flowers. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit terrified to put this on. I feel like it's also like rusted closed. Ugh. Okay, there it is a little bit. Let's at least swatch it and see what happens. Oh, it actually worked. Okay, I'm gonna put it on. Honestly, I think we're kind of nailing this look. Okay, now I'm gonna set my look with some of this Max Factor powder, which was a really popular brand in the 70s. And glowy was not the look that we wanted in the 70s on our skin, so we're gonna use this. This looks brand new, wow. This is the thinnest poof. Go ahead and mattify this whole look. I feel like there's perfume in this powder as well. I'm not sure why that was a thing back then for all of the makeup to smell so strong. Okay, here's our finished 1970s makeup look. I think it's all really gonna come together once we have the hair done. 1920s lipstick is so fun. It pretty much all came in these cute little gold tubes, and it was usually red. There wasn't a ton of variety in shades like there is now. So back then, a little tube of mascara like this would cost 50 cents. Doesn't cost 50 cents anymore. This one is Elizabeth Arden brand. And fun fact about this exact lipstick, this is the same brand that Marilyn Monroe would use. Her used lipsticks like this have actually sold at auctions for anywhere from $15,000 to $65,000. But this wasn't Marilyn Monroe's, so we only paid $258, which is still a lot. But it's so cool to own a lipstick that's 100 years old. This is so cool. So back in the day, a lot of women would actually use stencils to get their lipstick shape because lipstick shapes in the 20s were very extreme. A lot of women did this like exaggerated Cupid's bow look, but we don't have a stencil, so we're just gonna be freehanding it. There's a bunch of different shapes we could do. I think I'm gonna do this one here, inspired by Marion Davies. So we're basically gonna like overline our Cupid's bow, but not overline anything else. Honestly, I feel like I kind of nailed it. No stencil needed. We also found this really cool old palette. I think this one's actually older than the 1920s. This one's like early 1900s, but it's so beautiful. The gold. And this is complete with a little foundation. We've got this little compartment here that has the rouge in pristine condition too. And then look at this. This is a tiny lipstick. Okay, here's our complete 1920s makeup look. I'm excited to see how our black and white photo shoot turns out. We can't talk about beauty products without talking about nails. I'm really excited for this because we have some really interesting products from decades past.
Welcome to the Hopescope Nail Salon. We're going to do our nails today with products and techniques from each era. And then we've still got our vintage versus new hair and of course outfits coming up soon. The best thing about nails today is it's so affordable to get like at the salon nails, but at your house. Like we got this entire UV nail kit for like $27. And look what it comes with. A whole manicure prep kit, all of these cute gems, and all of these nail polish colors. And the lamp to cure it all. $27. Okay, so for our now nails, I think I'm gonna do some cute pink, and we're gonna add some accent nails because the other biggest trend of today are press-on nails, which I'm here for. So we have these fun Pink Friday ones. I feel like Lana from Dressed to Impress right now.
As long as I don't end up in a cage in the basement.
Lana is trapped in here. Like, I'm so sorry, girl.
Ta-da! These turned out so pretty. I feel like it's a pretty good representation of nail art today, but 50 years ago in the 1970s, nails looked a little different. So bright colors were starting to become very popular, and shape-wise, square nails were gaining a lot of popularity. So we have our mid-length square nails here and brand new nail polish from the 1970s, Elizabeth Arden brand. How cute is this? Okay, we have some fun colors in here. I'm really hoping this still works. Like, when does nail polish go bad? Does it even go bad? We're about to find out. Oh, it's looking a little chunky. Shake before use. Maybe that'll save it. Okay, so the cost of a nail polish kit like this back in the 1970s would have been about $4, which is wild because you can't even buy one nail polish for $4 now. Guys, I think this is gonna work. No way. It's like it's brand new. Wow. Okay, be right back with our final nail polish look from the 70s. Genuinely shocked at how well this worked. Low-key worked better than some of my new nail polishes. Okay, our 1920 nails are a little bit different. Nails 100 years ago were cut shorter, more of a natural rounded shape. And I did find a nail kit from the 1920s. This stuff is wild. It was also wildly expensive. I paid hundreds of dollars for this stuff, and I feel like a little bit of an idiot. So this was advertised as nail polish. Also, that's cute that it was 25 cents back in the day. I wish stuff was still that cheap. And so I assumed it would be nail color, nail polish, but no, this is actually literal polish. This is like a chalk-like material that I think they would actually use to buff out their nails before they put the color on. And I don't think actual nail color from 100 years ago exists anymore. But we have the little kit. We've got cuticle massage oil. No way. And it's still in there, untouched. This is amazing. This one though, looks like at one time it was nail color, liquid nail polish, because it comes with this scary looking brush. I feel like this is made out of real hair. I don't know hair from who or what, but it looks like real hair, which is freaky. Nail polish is a little crusty though. So I'm gonna be doing my 1920s nails, but with our 1970s nail polish, because the most fascinating thing about 1920s nails to me is the fact that when they would paint their nails, they would leave the tip and the moon unpainted. That was like the look. It's like reverse French tip nails. So I'm really interested to see how this ends up looking. Gosh, painting just the middle of the nail is crazy. By the way, you might have noticed my little mannequin hand helpers are wearing the new Hopeful bracelets. We have these beautiful gold ones that are just neutral and go with any outfit. And then we also have my personal favorite ones, the new pink ones. They're so cute. It's coming together. I'm so interested to see what a whole hand of this is gonna end up looking like.
Shopify is the best place to start a business or grow an existing one.
I personally love using Shopify to sell things because it's a commerce platform that makes selling so easy. And they're the sponsor of today's video. One of the many things that I love so much about Shopify is you can customize your website however you want to. They have tons of themes and apps that you can use to make your store one of a kind no matter what you're selling.
One of their new exciting tools is Shopify Magic. Here's an example. I want to spice up this product photo's background, so I'm gonna type into the prompt box, Taylor Swift concert, colorful blurred background, and ta-da, fun new backgrounds, like magic.
All right, one down. That looks kind of cool actually, but it was so much work, low-key way more work than just painting an entire nail. 4 more to go. There's a reason millions of stores across the globe choose Shopify. So if you've ever wanted to start your own store, now is the perfect time to scan this QR code or go to shopify.com/hopescope to get a free trial with Shopify. That's shopify.com/hopescope. And you can get your very own Hopeful bracelet on my Shopify store, hopescope.com. Thanks so much Shopify for sponsoring, and are you ready to see our final 1920s nails? Now nails, 70s nails, and here are our 1920s nails. It's interesting for sure. So if you ever see this trend come back, now you know where it originated. Before we complete our new and vintage looks with our hair and outfits, we have some more body products that we need to talk about. Obviously, skincare nowadays is very popular. There are so many products in store, but that was not the case 100 years ago. 100 years ago, all that girls really used as far as skincare goes is soap and cold cream. And today I have that exact soap. It's not just any soap, it is Pears soap. Okay, so this is a brand new one that you can get at like Target. And people still seem to really like this soap. It has pretty good reviews online, aside from a few people that say it's not what it used to be. So why am I bringing up Pears soap specifically? Because this is one of the most iconic brands of soap ever to exist. What's funny about this soap is it's been around and so popular for so long, but I don't think I've ever walked into somebody's house and seen them actually using this soap for its intended use. But what I have seen it used for are the very satisfying soap cutting videos on TikTok. So today I'm gonna be cutting up some Pears soap for your viewing pleasure. Oh, it's spicy. Why does it smell like a cough drop? It makes me want to lick it. That's a bad idea. Okay, so here is the packaging for Pears soap now, but the packaging is also not what it used to be. Here's what the Pears soap packaging looked like in the 1970s. It's so cute, this little metal tin. And then in the 1920s, it was even more beautiful. Look at this. I can imagine walking into a little general store in the 1920s and seeing this. It's beautiful. Also, the prices are... That was scary.
I'm doing a roof upstairs, so that might be.
They like hit something.
That scared me.
The prices are not what they used to be either. In the 70s, you used to be able to get a tin of soap for like $1. And in the 20s, you could get this soap for 17 cents for the unscented one. If you wanted the scented one, it was 22 cents. Also, these were called cakes back in the day. I don't know if that's like an old-timey thing or a London thing, but can we go back to calling these cakes of soap? That's so cute. Okay, let's cut this thing open. Oh, it's so fun to cut into. Okay, the other thing about Pear's soap in the 1970s is they used to hold the Miss Pear competition, and it was a big deal. It was a beauty pageant, and parents would submit their children to become the face of Pear's soap. A lot of girls actually got like kind of famous from winning these competitions. Oh. Ugh. Okay, I think this soap is too sticky to do the little like cube things. We need like a Dove soap for that. Fun to cut, but I honestly think I hate the scent of it. Sorry, Pear soap. Speaking of skincare, actually this next topic is kind of the opposite of skincare. We need to talk about tanning throughout the years. So obviously nowadays a lot of people know the dangers that can come with tanning. So fake tan products have become very, very popular. But that didn't used to be the case. 50 years ago or 100 years ago, good old-fashioned UV light tanning was all the rage. And in the 1970s, it was so unregulated that you could actually buy your very own at-home UV tanning light. This is so crazy to me. I didn't know this was a thing until I was researching for this video. I gotta know if this thing actually works. Okay, so this one's from the 1970s, but these actually came out as early as the 1950s. You could buy this little guy for $9.95. Wow. All right, so we're gonna plug this in and plug this one in from the 1950s. They look pretty similar, honestly. And then I have a UV tester to see how well these things actually work. This is so scary. I feel like my house is gonna blow up. No way, this one actually comes with little tanning goggles. I'm putting these on though. I'm actually scared to do this. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we got one. Hello? Oh my gosh, this is terrifying. Why is it doing that? How does the one from the 1950s turn on and not the one from the 1970s? That is wild. I want to test the UV of this thing because the instructions say aim for a UV index of 3 to 5 for safer tanning. And I think by safer, it just means you won't burn as easily. So we're gonna see if it's 3 to 5. All right, UV check. I mean, that doesn't help that it's doing that. Okay, so it got up to 0.5. So if it's not even at 3, does that mean it literally does nothing? All right, I think this product is past its prime. Okay, but I have to point out the packaging. It's hilarious. There's a picture of it being shown on a baby. That seems illegal. So safe to say I probably won't be using these tanning lights anytime soon. Tanning lights were not a thing in the 1920s yet, but fun fact, tanning actually gained its popularity in the 1920s because Coco Chanel came back from a trip to the French Riviera with a sun-kissed tan, and everybody wanted one like her. But they did it the old-fashioned way, and they just laid in the sun. Moving on to the hair category. One of the most popular hair curling irons today, and a personal favorite of mine, is the Beach Waver. Look how cute it matches my whole set right now. I love it. The reason that I bought this little thing is, of course, TikTok. These little beach wavers are not particularly cheap. They are $99, but I feel like you can usually find them on sale. It's so satisfying though. All right, here's our finished now curls. Kind of that beachy, wavy beach waver. All right, next era. All right, are you ready for the most exciting part of our 70s makeover, the hair? I think curling irons were around in the 70s, but more popular than that was hot rollers. So we have, all the way from the 1970s, this Clariol hot roller set. I'm kind of terrified to put this on my hair. I don't know what's gonna happen. We paid $52 for this, and I'm really trying to replicate like the beautiful, fluffy, wavy Farrah Fawcett style curls. Okay, here's our roller set. We've been letting it heat up, and I think it's ready to go.
Okay. Oh my gosh, am I really gonna put these in my hair? Okay, so these instructions are really cute because they have a bunch of different styles and then it shows you where to place the rollers to get that style. I don't have a bob, so that kind of narrows my options. But I'm thinking the high tide one, but make it on long hair, and that should give us the look that we're going for. Another important product from the 1970s is Dippity Doo setting gel. I guess this was really popular, especially for styling. If you put a little bit on beforehand and then roll it up, it's supposed to help your curls stay longer. I mean, now we just set our curls with hairspray, but this was like the thing back in the day. They actually still make this stuff, although it's not green anymore. It's pink, which I personally think is a little bit more appealing than this color, but I mean, the Dippy Doo smells kind of good, not gonna lie. All right, I'm gonna brush that on to my hair here. Okay, first one in. They're honestly not that hot, so hopefully it's working. All right, I'm gonna do the rest of my hair and see you in a second. All right, moment of truth to see if these curlers worked. I feel pretty good about this bottom one here. Let's see. No way. I did not think they were getting hot enough to work. Okay, I'm really excited actually. I'm actually so shocked right now. Oh my gosh. I don't really know where that one's supposed to go, but wow. All right, let's brush it out and see if we got our 70s curls. Wow. Was it the rollers or was it the Dippy Doo? Or was it both? That's pretty good. I love it. All right, there's our 1970s hair. When it comes to hair in the 1920s, the bob was very popular, to the point that women would like do their hair in a way that they would kind of tuck all of their hair under just to make it look like they had a bob. And then most bobs had finger waves or Marcel waves. And the tools used to accomplish these waves are nothing short of absolutely terrifying. Let me introduce you to a 1920s curling iron. And if this one's not terrifying enough, let me introduce you to 1920s hair crimper. Look at this thing. It's literally a torture device. We're gonna experiment and see if we can get some curls out of these things. And I bet you're wondering, how do they heat up if they don't have a cord? Well, they would take these little things and heat them up with literal fire and then put them in their hair. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. Why is it called the Little Princess? That makes this thing even more terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. I hate that. However, I'm not doing this to my actual hair because I paid way too much for this pink hair. So I have a lovely volunteer. Here she is. We're gonna ruin your hair, not mine. I feel like she needs a haircut though, because long hair was not a thing in the 20s. So hang on a second. Here she is. That's a good 1920s length, I think. Okay, here comes the fire. Not the warning for outdoor use only. Why is it smoking like that? Oh my gosh. Are we gonna set the alarm off? I feel like I need to take this outside. So after taking my mini s'mores fire pit outside, I discovered that the 1920s hair crimper actually seems to be working. I feel like it would take forever to do your entire head like this though. So I just did the front pieces. It worked. I literally can't believe it. It's pretty good. Okay, my review though is A, that was the most dangerous thing I've ever done in my entire life. That was terrifying. B, I think this works better if you're a brunette. Sorry to my blondies, but she has so much soot in her hair now. Okay, we've got one more step though. So Dippity Doo was not around in the 1920s. In fact, hair gel as we know it wasn't really around at all. The only product that they really used for their hair was oil, like this one. This is a rose pomade. Oh, this literally feels like it belongs in a museum. We even have the instructions. And it was literally everything. It was a conditioner, a scalp treatment, but frequently they would use this after they would curl their curls to make them look nice and glossy and greasy, honestly. So we're gonna put some pomade on her and then we'll have our final 1920s look. Ew, it looks like earwax. Ugh, it low-key smells kind of good. It smells like a cleaning product. I think this is what they did. The interesting thing about the pomades is they're not sticky like a hair gel, they're just oily. The oil and the soot is not really mixing well together, I will say. Okay, here she is. She's looking a little greasy. The soot. I'm honestly shocked it worked as well as it did. Literally me if I existed in the 1920s. We just found this wig on Amazon and I thought it was too perfect. And then we also have this cute little hair accessory. Oh my goodness.
Here is the final now beauty look, our 1970s beauty look,
I kinda wanna do my hair like this always.
and the 1920s look. And our black and white photos actually turned out pretty cool. The light foundation did create a really cute like glow. Make sure to check out my other vintage versus new videos, and we will see you guys in the next video.